Hello, thanks for clicking on Just Be Fitness. I'm your trainer, Jasper Bravo. Today, we are training our chest. Yes, I know there's no guy who doesn't want to have a big chest, right? Because it's just one of those body parts that make you stand out. It's just one body part just makes you stand out, whether you like it or not. That is true, right? Now, of course, as always, we start by checking on our physique update to see how we've been going with this bulk. This has been a bulking season, by the way, and we've done this for the past 1 year. This is another second year where we want to go also the whole year of a bulk again. So we want to see how it will go. So far, so good. I can't complain right now, by the way. I don't know about you. So yeah, this is what's up, by the way. And I don't know what you think about the physique, by the way, but personally, I think that we are making good steps. We are not as lean as we were, but we are still very lean compared to where we want to be at. So which means we are still going to be around with this bulk for quite some time. So we start our workout by doing some warm-up, and you're warming up by doing some pull-ups, and you superset these pull-ups with some push-ups. We're going for at least 10 reps of pull-ups, a very well controlled all the way down, all the way up. It's very good for your joints, by the way. If you haven't been doing that, just try doing that, incorporating some of such type of pulling by the vertical pulling, that is either pull-ups or chin-ups or both. I'd prefer both, by the way. So I'll superset that with some push-ups, because always, of course, that's one of the best chest workouts, and it's also a very good workout for your joints. It helps with the health of the joints. So of course I have to incorporate this into my warm-up so that I prepare my body just right enough for what is about to come, because whatever is about to come, we don't know, but what we know is that it's just not going to be easy, and if you just go and hit it direct, we run a chance of getting injured, and that's just what we don't want. We want to stay healthy and stay fit. So we're starting with the first workout, which is going to be inclined barbell press. And yes, we are aiming for this. On the first set, we're aiming for high reps, by the way. So when I talk about high reps, I'm speaking about above 10, that is 15, 20, even 30 reps. So we do that. And yeah, I know you're wondering how I'm doing this without having a spotter. Yeah, it's not a heavy weight. This is a weight that I'm very comfortable with. But when you get to that weight that you feel is just starting to be heavy, you need a spotter, because you could easily get injured, or the weight could drop on you if you're not using a Smith machine, if you're using a free bench press like the one we are using right now. So I had to add some weight for the next set. And I know you'd be wondering, how much do I rest in between the sets? It's about 30 seconds to 2 minutes, but it depends with the day, depends with how I feel, and depends with the weight. If I'm going a little bit heavy, I'll go long for about 2 minutes, and when I'm going high reps, low weight, lighter weight, I'll rest for about 30 seconds is good enough. 30-40 seconds, even a minute, that is just perfect. But it's all about how you feel. When you just feel like your joints are good enough, you've stopped panting, and you're not fully recovered, because you don't need to cool your muscles too much, for lack of a better word, but just rest enough to allow you to at least get ready for the next one. So we are going for the third set, and since we noticed that the second set wasn't easy, it was quite challenging, the third set we're not going to add any extra weight. We're going to maintain the same weight, and we're going to try to beat the previous number of reps that we did, so that just to make sure that we are getting as close as possible to failure, because that is one of the best way that will help yourself get stronger, get fitter, and even grow a bigger chest. Always making sure that in each and every set you get as close as possible to failure. That is just you getting beyond your limits. That's how you expand your boundaries, by always challenging them, and you only challenge them by getting as close as possible to failure, or even sometimes going past them when you go for drop sets and mayo reps and all that. Now, after being done with that, we rest for a few minutes, then we go for the flat bench dumbbell press. This is also another awesome workout for your chest. You need to incorporate this because of, number one, you fear less being crushed with this one, so you can get closer to failure with this one compared to bench press. Because you know, the good stuff about dumbbells that you're going to see in this video, by the way, is that there's sometimes you feel that it's going to crush you, but the advantage of the dumbbells is that you never have that feeling, because anytime you're getting closer to failure, you can always try that extra rep, because you know, even if the worst gets to the worst, you just drop it beside you. There's a very unlikely possibility that it's going to drop on your head. But with the bench, oh, of course, you know, we've seen several of videos of accidents. In fact, I think there's no accident that is more common than bar bench press accidents. People hurt themselves so much on bench press. And yeah, so that's one place that you really need to be so cautious when you're training. And if you don't have somebody or a training partner to help you, always just try to take precautions by using dumbbells when you really want to go heavy and close enough to your failure. And anytime you find yourself going for the barbell, just try to make sure that you are so keen not to get too close like that one. I think you saw that, how that one looked like. I thought I was going to be able to do another rep, but I did everything be within me and I just couldn't. So as you noticed, I just decided to drop the weight besides me. That was just good enough, and we rest and wait for the next set, which is going to be the third set of this workout. And today I'm doing 30 kgs. Yes, I know that one looks weak for some people. There are some people who look at this and they think this is just too heavy. But it all depends with your stage, with how far, with your experience, and how much you've been training. But personally today, this one, it was just a day that I was going a little bit light, because I was just from having another session, and I was also training my arms. So I was not in my best position to go heavy. Then also sometimes I actually want to go for high reps, because throughout the past 1 month I've been going really heavy for the chest, because I was working on my strength in that area. But now, right now, I was just trying to at least diversify my workouts, which is very good. So I was just going for the lighter weight, so that I will be able to at least have a feeling of going for high reps with the lighter weight. And of course, that makes also the workout very interesting, and it keeps us in the game for a bit longer, because the more interesting it becomes, the less boring it becomes, and that is an advantage. Then we go direct after resting a bit for the next workout, which is going to be dumbbell flies. And anytime you're doing this workout, try to really exaggerate pushing your chest forward, because if you don't do that, you're running a risk of training your shoulders, your front delts, instead of training your chest. Most people make that mistake. In fact, this is one of the most cheated workouts in the world. People don't expose their chest enough, and then they find themselves, every time they're done with a set, they notice that their shoulders are more tired than the chest. It's because they're using their front delts when doing this workout more than they're really using their chest, and that is not supposed to be the case, because flies are very crucial to chest growth. If you really want to have an optimal size of chest you can ever have in this life, don't exclude flies in your program, because you're going to be leaving so much on the table. Your body is going to be cheated so much, because that is just unfair to your body. If you do that, make sure you do some flies, whether it's cable pull-ups, but because cable flies, if you're in such a gym where you can access that. If you can't, you can do these, or you can use the resistant bands, just something that allows you to feel as though you are hugging somebody with your arms. That is the type of workouts that will help you. That is the type of things that you can do to incorporate into your chest workout, just to strengthen your flying part of the workout. Because when you are training your pec muscles, we know that the pec muscles are responsible for moving your arms towards one another and also pushing stuff forward. So that moving your arms towards one another is the part that we are strengthening when we do the flies. And you just need to have both, so that you have that 3D chest that is fully developed in all areas. Yeah, of course, incorporating also the inclined, flat, and declined chest presses, just to help with also targeting different areas of the chest, because according to science and research, it's been proven that some exercises tend to hit some other parts of the chest more than others. So it is not something, it's not a bro science, but it is a tested and researched science and proven. So yeah, that's how the pump is looking. I don't know how you guys are looking at it. I don't know how it looks, but I think it looks good. Yeah, I think it looks quite impressive. I don't know how you're seeing it, but that's just my opinion. I think it looks a little bit, it looks very impressive. The chest is so much pumped, and that's just what we are always coming for anytime when you are going through this workout. And I can tell you that this workout went for about 10 sets, because we had 6 press sets and 4 sets of flies. That was 10 sets. 10 sets of workout for one muscle group, and you feel a crazy pump. You don't need to do a crazy lot of workout. You can if you're training this body part once per week, but if you're training it twice, thrice, you don't really need to do so much. 6 is good enough. In fact, it's always been proven that just training a muscle two sets per week is enough to maintain the muscle mass. That is if you are aiming for maintenance. Just 2 is enough per month. But per week, I mean. But we are not going for maintenance. We want to be stronger. We want to build bigger muscles. We want to get leaner every day. At least not now. Now we are not working on leanness. We are working on growth, strength, athleticism, endurance, strength, power. You name it, man. So if you love this, let me see you in the next one.